When God blesses you, unmistakable signs begin to appear, signs that you simply cannot ignore. It's easy to assume blessings are only about material gain or outward success, but God's true blessings run much deeper, reaching far beyond anything the world can offer. When His favor rests on your life, you'll notice it in the transformation of your heart and the way doors start to open before you. Your life begins to carry a greater sense of purpose. But how can you tell when God is genuinely blessing you? The signs go beyond surface level. They touch the very core of who you are. First, you will feel an overwhelming peace. This peace isn't the absence of problems, but the presence of God in your life. Even amid life's fiercest storms, while chaos swirls outside, inside, you find an unshakable calm. It's a peace that defies understanding, a calm that holds firm. When the world seeks to knock you down, God's blessing acts as a shield for your heart, giving you strength to remain steady when uncertainty looms. Though the path forward may be unclear, you rest in the confidence that God is directing your every step. This peace is a divine gift, a clear sign that God's hand is upon you. No matter the trials, you will never walk alone. Second, you'll witness doors opening in ways beyond what you could have imagined. Doors that once stood closed, whether in relationships, your career, or personal life, suddenly swing wide open. It feels as though a divine hand is guiding you to opportunities you never thought possible. This isn't coincidence. It's God positioning you perfectly at the right moment. Blessings sometimes come as unexpected opportunities, people who enter your life to support and encourage you, or breakthroughs in areas you thought unreachable. When God blesses you, He paves the way for your dreams to take shape, guiding you to places once beyond your grasp. Third, you'll notice a change deep within your character. Blessings aren't only about what you receive, they're about who you become. God doesn't just give, you are refined in the process. Patience grows, kindness expands, and your capacity to love others deepens. The core of your being aligns more closely with God's will for your life. God's blessings are not only material, though those may come, they are also spiritual. The fruits of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, begin to flourish within you. Others will see this transformation. They'll notice the change in you. This change blesses not only you, but those around you, because when God blesses you, His light shines through. Finally, your desires and ambitions will begin to align with God's purpose for your life. The things that once seemed important, status, wealth, approval, start to fade into the background. A deeper longing to serve Him and follow His plan takes their place. The more God blesses you, the clearer you realize His plan is greater than your own. You experience a fulfillment that comes not from chasing fleeting dreams, but from walking in His will. This fulfillment, the peace and purpose you find, is the greatest blessing of all. When God blesses you, the changes are not just on the surface, they penetrate deep within. You find peace amid the storms, doors open where walls once stood, your character transforms, and your desires align with His plan. These are the unmistakable signs that you are living in God's favor, walking under His blessing. And when that happens, you'll watch your life shift in remarkable ways, amazed at how His blessings unfold beyond your expectations. This is your invitation to rise up, to answer the call, and move boldly forward in harmony with God's plan for your life. When you step through these doors, you're not just entering new opportunities, you're stepping into a higher calling, a deeper purpose that God has set before you. You may not have all the answers yet, but trust that God will equip you with everything necessary to thrive in this new chapter. God is calling you forward. When doors open, it's a clear sign that He is positioning you for greater things ahead. It's His way of working behind the scenes, arranging circumstances beyond your understanding. He knows the desires of your heart, and when the moment is right, He makes a way where it seems impossible. Those breakthroughs you experience are reminders of God's unwavering faithfulness and love, proof that you are never walking alone. As you witness doors opening, lean into God's perfect timing. Believe that when one door closes, it's making space for even greater doors to open. Though some doors may close for a reason, those God opens are filled with purpose and potential, leading you to places of fulfillment and blessing beyond what you've imagined. Step boldly through these doors, knowing that each opportunity reflects God's goodness, His plan for your life, and the extraordinary future He has prepared. These open doors are not only blessings for you, they are chances to serve, to grow, and to impact the world around you. As you walk through, remember you are covered by divine favor. Let your faith guide you through each opportunity, confident that with every step, God is drawing you closer to your true purpose. The doors He opens will lead you to blessings far greater than anything you could have dreamed on your own. God's blessings go beyond material success or external achievements. While the world often measures blessings by wealth or status, God's true blessings transform your very being. They reshape your character, molding you from within to reflect His nature and align with His will. This transformation is not just about what you receive, but about who you become. One of the clearest signs of God's blessing is growth in patience. Life's challenges often tempt us to become impatient or frustrated when things don't happen on our timeline. But when God is at work, He cultivates patience, not just waiting, but waiting with grace and peace, trusting in His perfect timing. You come to understand that not everything needs to unfold immediately. Some of the greatest blessings take time, and trusting God throughout the process is a mark of true faith. Alongside patience, God's blessings deepen your capacity for kindness. In a world often focused on self-interest, kindness can feel scarce. But as God blesses you, He softens your heart, expanding your ability to show compassion, even to those who cannot repay it. You begin to see others through God's eyes, recognizing their worth and deserving of love. Kindness becomes not just an act, but an attitude that shapes your life. This blessing also grows your love for God and for others. God's love is unconditional, and as you experience His blessings, you learn to love more deeply, even those who challenge or hurt you. Love becomes more than a feeling. It becomes a choice, a commitment to care, forgive, and put others before yourself. This love transforms how you relate to the world, turning you into a vessel of God's grace. God's blessings also cultivate humility, self-control, and faithfulness. Humility helps you recognize that all your blessings come from God's grace, not your own efforts. Instead of seeking praise, you give glory to God in all things. Self-control empowers you to make choices that honor God, even when immediate desires pull you another way. This strength brings peace and deeper fulfillment as you align your life with God's will rather than your own impulses. Faithfulness grows as God pours out His favor, instilling trust in His promises. You learn to remain committed to God and your purpose, even when the journey is difficult. This steadfastness is a lifelong process where God shapes and refines you into a reflection of His image and love. Through this transformation, you not only receive God's blessings, you become a blessing to others. Your life becomes a testament to His goodness, your actions a reflection of His grace. True blessing is growth in patience, kindness, love, humility, self-control, and faithfulness. It's a blessing that impacts not only you, but also those around you, drawing them closer to God's love. When God blesses you, one of the deepest changes is the alignment of your desires with His greater purpose. In a world chasing success and status, it's easy to get distracted by temporary things that don't satisfy. But God's blessings shift your focus from fleeting goals to eternal purpose, His plan for your life. You come to see that true fulfillment isn't found in wealth, fame, or recognition, but in living in step with God's calling. What once seemed important fades in comparison to the joy and peace of serving Him. This purpose is about who you become, not just what you achieve. Aligning your desires with God's leads to a life filled with meaning, one that serves others, advances His kingdom, and makes a lasting difference. Your priorities change. You seek love, kindness, justice, and compassion, things that matter beyond this life. And as you pursue these, you find true joy in being a vessel for God's love. This fulfillment comes not from worldly praise, but from knowing you are walking the unique path God designed for you. Aligning with His will brings peace and clarity, even amid uncertainty. It doesn't promise an easy road, but it guarantees that every step has meaning. When challenges come, you rest in the assurance that God is guiding you. His blessings deepen your understanding of purpose, not just fulfilling dreams, but glorifying God and contributing to something greater. With this mindset, every task becomes an opportunity to serve. No obstacle is wasted. Every trial is a chance to grow, learn, and step more fully into your calling. Aligning your desires with God's greater purpose helps you discern what truly matters, giving you peace and direction as you walk confidently in His plan. You start to shift your focus away from things that are temporary and fleeting, and instead center on what holds eternal value. The passing attractions of this world lose their grip on you, and you discover true joy and satisfaction in what truly matters, loving God, loving others, and serving the world in His name. This is the profound beauty of walking in alignment with God's purpose. It transforms the very core of your desires, molding them into something everlasting. When God blesses you, He leads you toward genuine fulfillment, not through worldly success or personal accolades, but through a life lived fully in harmony with His will. Your priorities change from the temporary to the eternal, and you find peace and purpose in the assurance that you are carrying out His divine plan. As you follow this path, you experience a joy and contentment that can only come from living in sync with God's purpose, knowing you are part of His greater design, and that your life carries eternal significance. This is the true blessing from God. When your desires align with His purpose, you don't just fulfill His plan, you also find a fulfillment deeper than anything the world can offer. God's blessings provide a satisfaction that surpasses the fleeting pleasure of material wealth or worldly success. Many chase after riches, status, or accomplishments, believing these will bring ultimate fulfillment. But God's blessings offer something far richer and longer lasting. This fulfillment isn't measured by your bank balance, the car you drive, or the awards you've earned. Instead, it springs from the deep confidence that you are walking in God's favor, that your life is aligned with His purpose, and that you are exactly where He wants you to be. Material wealth can offer comfort for a moment, but it can never satisfy the deepest longings of your soul for meaning, purpose, and lasting peace. True joy and contentment come not from possessions, but from knowing you are living within the center of God's will. In fact, the more you chase worldly success without Him, the more hollow it can feel, even if everything looks prosperous on the outside. The reality is, only God can satisfy the deepest desires of your heart. When you are blessed by God, your heart begins to understand that true fulfillment comes from walking in His favor. This kind of fulfillment doesn't depend on external circumstances. It's rooted in a profound sense of peace, purpose, and joy, grounded in the knowledge that you are living according to God's plan. There is no greater satisfaction than knowing you are fulfilling the very purpose for which you were created. In that place, you begin to experience a peace beyond understanding, a joy that cannot be taken away, and a contentment not based on what you have or don't have. God's blessings bring a satisfaction that comes from being exactly where you're meant to be, following the path He has laid out. This fulfillment is not about proving yourself or seeking the world's approval. It comes from the unshakable truth that God sees you, loves you, and has a unique plan tailored just for you. When you live aligned with His will, you gain a deep contentment that remains steady through life's highs and lows. Furthermore, God's blessings teach you that true fulfillment is not about amassing more, but about using what you have to serve Him and others. This shift in mindset is freeing. You begin to see your wealth, time, talents, and resources not as things to hoard or use selfishly, but as gifts to be stewarded for His glory. The satisfaction that comes from serving others, living with integrity, and making a positive impact far outweighs any temporary pleasure from material possessions. This fulfillment transcends material wealth because it isn't tied to possessions that come and go. Material things can be gained or lost, often leaving us longing for more. But the fulfillment born from God's blessings is eternal. It doesn't fade, doesn't demand constant effort, and isn't tied to what's in your bank account or how successful you seem. It's a fulfillment rooted in walking in God's favor, trusting His guidance, and knowing He has equipped you fully to live a meaningful and abundant life. As your relationship with God deepens, you see that the greatest blessings are not things you can hold, but those that dwell within your heart. The love, peace, joy, and purpose flowing from God's blessings surpass anything money can buy. This fulfillment springs from a deep trust in God's goodness and faithfulness and a willingness to surrender your desires to Him. Walking in His favor, you discover true fulfillment comes from obedience, serving others, and contentment with what He provides. In this way, God's blessings liberate you from the endless chase for fleeting success and possessions, refocusing you on what truly matters, loving God, loving others, and living a life that reflects His grace and truth. True fulfillment is found not in what you own, but in who you are becoming. As you walk in God's will, serving Him and others, living out the unique purpose He designed for you, God's blessings bring a peace and contentment no worldly thing can match. Knowing you are in the center of His plan, exactly where He wants you to be, brings a fulfillment deeper than wealth, richer than success, and more lasting than anything the world can offer. That fulfillment, rooted in God's love and purpose for your life, is the greatest blessing of all.